Hey y'all, this is Allison. I was hanging out in my space to craft and ready to do one of the page kits that I put together in the last video. And this one is using Carta Bella paper. I think it was called Deep Blue Sea or something like that. Very nautical themed. And these pictures are of my daughter doing the the rock climbing wall on the ship. So I wanted to do sort of a sea days page for this. I had 4 really nice pieces of paper from the paper kit. I couldn't decide which stripe I wanted. I decided to go with this bold stripe and then make a couple of strips of the anchor paper and then the wordy paper. And then sort of hang the photos off of that shelf at the top, if you will. So that's kind of my plan. And I'm going to use the title Fearless from this Bella Boulevard acrylic titles. I don't use those very often, but I do like them when I find a way to use them. So I'm going to make this work, and I'm going to add a strip of this blue paper. It's actually textured paper, so it reminds me of water. I really like it on water-related pages. And here I just was confirming that I didn't want that busy, wordy bit as the background paper. So I'm doing a 2-inch strip of the words paper, and then I think I did 1 1/4 of this blue paper. And then 2 inches of this fun anchor paper. So these are pretty busy, so keeping them in smaller pieces makes it a little bit easier to manage. So those will end up there, and they end up consuming almost a half of the page, but it works out well. So I like the red right next to the photos rather than the blue. There's not as much contrast since there's a lot of blue in the pictures. And then we'll do this. The one thing about this paper, adhesive doesn't stick great to it, so I do end up adding a few drops of glue. This page came together really, really fast. I think 38 minutes total, because I didn't have to cut a title. My title was set for me. I used some cut aparts, stickers. It came together really, really fast. And but still high impact and really fun page. Oh, somebody's racing on the street behind my house. So I'm going to use this ahoy there, and it's got a picture of a ship, or ahoy matey, I think it says. I don't know. Ahoy there, which I thought was cute since she's kind of up in the air. So we're ready to stick these down until I remember I want to ink, and I'm going to do black ink. So after I do this, I will pick everything back up and ink it. So this is my oopsie for this page. There's always something on every page. It's not the end of the world. It's easy to fix. And it just really helps them stand out. Gives everything a little more dimension. That's where I added a little bit of glue. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of glue around underneath this as well. And then I'm just, as I layer these things up, I'm just trying to make sure that things don't, they're overlapping at different levels just to create interest on the page. Now, the one thing I really didn't add a lot of is circular elements on this page, but I think it works with the very squared up page. A few things move around. That says C days, and this was on a C day. So had I had like a round element with an anchor in it, that might have worked maybe even a little better, but hey, you use what you have. I really like the idea of the octopus on there since she's using her hands and feet to climb up the wall. So I thought that sort of said something about that. And then I decided in order to make a little bit of a diagonal, that a little something should go down the bottom as well. So now I'm going to tackle the sticker sheet, and I am looking for different elements that might work on there. There's a little wordy bit. And these are little flags. So I'm going to hang those down here. I do find another flag later. There are so many elements on these Carta Bella sticker sheets. They cram little tiny bits in everywhere. So I think you really get a lot of bang for your buck on these sheets. Here's where I decide, I look, do I want something across the bottom? Do I want to add another border strip? And I decide not to. So I try that one and I try this other one, and I just decide no, I'm gonna leave it because I already have the stripes across the bottom. Maybe if it was a solid piece of paper, then I would definitely want a stripe across the bottom, but I'm okay with the way it came out. And here I'm just picking some stars, and they were so tiny that I used my pick tool to get them off the sticker sheet. And then I had pulled this red twine out to include in the page kit, and I decide I'm going to put that across that blue line. And I'm going to do a double strip of it across there. I like the look of it, and it adds a little more dimension and another texture to the page. I'm going to get some washi tape to just hold that in place. And then I also add a little bit of glue underneath the strings. And I found a hole in my glue bottle in the side. I had let my daughter use it, and I don't know if she got a little aggressive with it or what. But I'm going to have to order a new glue bottle. And then I'm going to just tie a little bow up here. And then use this glue for the title. And I don't add enamel dots. I think about adding like some black Nuvo drops or something like that. But I had those little stars, and I just decide to leave it with the stars. So I decided to add a little glue under these since they're on that funky paper. So I decide that I don't need to add more stuff to it, honestly. And so I'm just double checking. Found that other flag. And I think we're going to do close-ups, and this page is done and dusted. So please give this video a thumbs up, you guys. I really appreciate you watching. I welcome any comments. I always try and respond to comments. Pass on my page to your crafty friends. I'd love to increase my subscription, so please subscribe if you are not already. And we will see you next time. Seize the day. Be fearless. Thanks a lot, you guys.